Hi guys, so in today's video I'm gonna try and fashion something cute to be like this year's hot cocoa packet holder. I think every year I do something either on the Cricut or Handmade or both, and so this year I'm going to do something a little bit different because while I was looking for the candy canes, I came across these guys at the Dollar Tree and I thought, oh my gosh, how cute would these be, like little floating marshmallows, right, for your drink, so your hot cocoa. So that's what we're going to plan around. I mean, like I said, I got this stuff at Dollar Tree. Some stuff came from like Aldi or like my local grocer. So wherever you might get these things, if I can link them in the description box, I will. I do have Dollar Tree affiliate links, and that means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links. But you know, at this point, it's whatever you can find, right? I also did a quick like shorts video when I was at the Dollar Tree, and I had asked if people want to see me make a candy sleigh, the Santa candy sleigh again. It was a video I had on my old channel, and then I put it on this channel because I still had the video, you know, so I re-uploaded it here. And so it's a really old video, but I can make one a little more contemporary, I guess. It's, you know, whatever candies you can find, you build it up and you make your little Santa sleigh, but it's always a fun project, and the kids love making them. It's been like a tradition. I've been making them for a long time now. For the my nieces and nephews, my kids, obviously grandkids now. Not my grandkids, but like my mom's grandkids, you know. Anyway, so I usually make between like 9 and 13 of them every year. So we can think about that. But in this one, I'm going to fashion something. Okay, guys? So I don't know what that something is yet. I want it to hold this. I want it to hold the cocoa. I do have the Swiss Miss, you know, that you buy that huge pack like at the store or, you know, Costco or whatever. So they're not the most gorgeous thing, but it's cute. I mean, whatever. Still looks festive colors. These guys I got at Aldi recently, and I don't know if I uploaded the short from Aldi yet, because a lot of times I'll go there and then, you know, I upload the video later. But they used to sell this at Costco, and I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, because the other day, I went 2 days ago, and maybe a day ago, whatever. They had hot cocoa, and they had like the Starbucks canister, and then they had the Swiss Miss, but they didn't have anything else, at least mine. But they used to have the Land O'Lakes one, which is much more luxurious, you guys. But I did find this at Aldi, and see how pretty these are? Like, the packaging is cute. I love the mint. I love the raspberry. And I got the regular one too, but these flavors are really yummy. So this is better looking, and I mean, look at that. It's like the same size. Oh, I would love that. So either way, I'm going to plan to hold that and hold this, I think, because this is something you find more often. But since it has to hold this, you can still pop this in there, I'm sure. So I just want to show you how these are pretty. So if you see these, if you go to Aldi, and I love Aldi, guys, I encourage you to go there, check it out. They have some really fun stuff. We have that. And then I want a large candy cane to go with it because I knew this was taller, but I have mini candy canes too. I mean, you can tuck them in the pocket or do whatever you want, but I was going to try to fashion something that's kind of cute and unique. So we'll see. So my goal is to have this guy, and the candy cane in some kind of something from our paper, right? We have lots of paper. I was going to tie it closed with ribbon, but you know what? We might as well use this stuff. It's $1.25. Yeah, I'm sure you have some laying around, some curling ribbon. Makes it inexpensive, a little more festive and cute. And then one other thing, as I was doing this, they have these really cute cups. And I already mentioned, I was like, I already bought my cups for like the RV for this Christmas time, the Grinch ones. But look how cute these are. Be Jolly, and it holds a lot. And the other day, to be honest, I made a hot toddy with some bourbon, and it was so good. It was basically canela, which in Spanish canela is like cinnamon tea. It's basically water with a cinnamon stick. You know, you boil it for like 10 or 15 minutes, get that cinnamon flavor really in there. And it said to add 3 ounces of maple syrup and 3 ounces of lemon juice, and then like 1 ounce of bourbon. I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound right. So I did like, okay, a cup of the canela over your cinnamon tea, however you want to call it. And I did like maybe an ounce and a half of maple syrup, an ounce or ounce and a half of lemon juice, and then a full shot, like 2 ounces of bourbon, because I'm like, an ounce of bourbon with all that water? I don't know. And it was a little hot. It was a little hot. You can probably cut back on the bourbon then. But I thought how cute it would be to put in like these guys too, right? During the holidays. I don't know. They seem really nice. They're $1.25. I don't know. They're like, see, it's a stemless tumbler. So to me, this one looked more winey, like more of a drink kind of thing. I don't know. But they have this one and this style. So I grabbed a few of each. And so just for a quick gift, I mean, you can just do something like that, right? Oh, actually, I have one other option with these quick ones before we get to the other things. So I would just package it up the same way. Just, you know, with your curling ribbon, make your cute little tags. We have that guy. We have our little marshmallow peeps. You have your Swiss Miss, and maybe you put that there, or maybe put it in the front, but I think I'll put it sideways. And it's all in there, and then, you know what would be cute is to tie it with the candy cane on the outside, huh? Okay, so I'm just going to show you a couple ways of packaging something up that's cute. Let's not try to break these. I love that. It's so weird how these are just like open, but they don't break. They got their packaging down there at Brock's. Okay, there we go. And then let's tie it with some ribbon. I also use the same curling ribbon for my, oh my goodness, I just remembered. I went to the grocery store to get Kit Kats because my sleighs are based on Kit Kats. And I forgot to get the Kit Kats. I grabbed everything else. Okay. I'll probably end up at Walmart grabbing those. It doesn't matter. It's just at my grocery store. They were on sale this week, candy bars. And I was just like, oh, I don't need any candy bars. And then I realized, oh, I do need candy bars. So that's why I wanted to go get them from the grocery store. Anyway, I would put... Oh, actually, these probably have the little metal thing, right? So if you want to... The little tie that they normally come with, obviously tie it with that. I'm going to put one knot, just so it doesn't slip off. And then I'm going to add on... Trying to make it cute, obviously. What I like about this is the little village of people on the front. I thought that was really cute. So again, those are from the Dollar Tree also. So I'll pop this on here. And another knot and bow, and then we'll curl the curling ribbon to make it very cute. Right now I have a lot of people watching one of my older videos, was also on my old channel, of how to make like a mug with like the cutest candy stems, and then you fill it in with all kinds of cute stuff, and it just looks really, really festive. I will say this looks a little plain, so I might top this with something else, but I missed the end. These scissors don't open all the way. It's kind of weird. These are some tonic scissors. I think I got them free or something with like maybe a mystery bag. They don't open completely. See? They just open to there. So anyway, all right. I mean, that's cute, I guess. I would like it to be a little more. But you can take a little bow. I had got some bows, and I'll show you in the candy sleigh video, and just pop it on there too. So really quick way to give the same thing with an extra like cup. And I'll show you another mug option that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Right back. The mugs that they have there. I did have some cute snowman ones, but I don't know where they are right now. So anyway, this is one of the ones I had picked up. And the snowman ones were larger. So anyway, you can just pop your little stuff in there. And maybe this time I use one of the Land O'Lakes one. And maybe you still put it in the bag. You know, I just pop them in there. But whatever you think is cute. Actually, see, I wish I had the other one. The other mugs I got were a little bit wider. Oh my goodness. I see them every day right now. I'm like, where did I put those mugs? Because I've been trying to clean up and keep things where I need them to be. But that's actually kind of cute. You can still see the little peeps back there. And then you can still put it in the bag, tie it up, whatever. You know, maybe pop a candy cane in there too. It's very cute. Maybe a little gift card, right? So just something to think about. But that's another quick way. All right. Let's get to designing what we need to design for this to work, this kind of setup. All right, let me clean up just a little bit, and I'll be right back. We can make all kinds of things, and we can make something that just holds everything like this. You know, I was thinking like a little book, which is going to make it more difficult, okay, guys? So, and I think we're going to make things separate from it, because I would like to make a book where it just folds up, and you have a little thing that holds this, you know, like a pocket. And this one has to be more of a flat pocket, but I think we're just going to do pockets, but separately, okay? That just makes it easier to explain and maybe even easier to execute. So, you know, the plastic, it's about 6 inches tall. Let's say 6.5, so that it's not showing too much. Something like that. Maybe 6.25, but let's say 6.5 is probably an easier number to work with. I was looking for a pen, because I'm going to write with a pencil, and maybe you won't be able to see it very well, but let's just put down some numbers. So we want 6.5 inches tall, at least, right? And then the width here is 3 inches. So let's say 3.25, and hopefully this one's something similar. See, this one's 3.5. That's part of the problem, that this is wider. And yeah, these things are flex, but so yeah, I'm gonna make it for this one, but this one will be able to slide in too if you wanted to. So 3.5 inches. Let's say 3.75, because I don't want it to be too big. And I do want to give this a little bit of room, because this is thicker than you think, right? The little thickness to it. So obviously we can move the powder a little bit, but you do need a little give. And then how deep this pocket should be. It feels like at least 1 inch, yeah. So I would say 1 inch and 1/8 would be really, let me see where we're at. 1 1/8 inch is kind of tight. But I feel like 1¼ inch is going to be a little much. Let's give ourselves that little flex of 1¼ inch. So 1¼ inch deep, and I don't know how I dry that. So dry that? Anyway, how I write that. Okay, so if I want to make it like a book, right? We need this middle section to account for the 1¼ inches deep, at least. And that makes sense. Okay, so let's put 1¼ inch in here. And then it needs to be at least 3¾ inches wide here and here. So 3¾ there, 3¾ here. That's 6, 7½, 8½, 8¾ 8¾ if I'm not forgetting something. And then we want it 6½ inches tall. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But right now, just for the outside of our little envelope, our little book holder, whatever you want to call it, I need a piece that's 6½ by 8¾ okay? So now let's make up some pocket sizes. I was thinking about making something so that this would also, but you know what, this can probably sit inside of it, or at least on the edge here. I was going to make like a little something inside that would hold it. I don't know if I can still think about that, how that might work. Now, what's cute is, like, I used to make, like, little notebook covers or notepad, you know what I'm saying? Like, sticky note covers, and you make a spot for the pencil or the pen to go inside. That's another option, but you would notch your little thing out. But anyway, let's not get too complicated, guys. Oh my gosh, guys, this is going to be a real rough edit right here, and I'm so sorry. I was cutting my red papers, and I realized with my Cocoa Pocket, and I'm going to say the numbers, they're going to be wrong. Don't listen to me. I said 4¾ by 2½, and that's fine because I'm adding a 1/2 inch glue tab to the 3¾ right? So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, that's 4¾ But the glue tab here I didn't account for, so I need this to be 3 inches so it can be 2½ inches tall. And so the Cocoa Pocket should be 4¾ by 3. I'm going to say the wrong thing next, and I'm going to cut it probably incorrectly, but just know that the Cocoa Pocket should be 4¾ by 3 inches, okay? Not by 2½. Everything else is okay. I don't know why I did that so silly. Sorry, guys. This is the correct number. All right, so the pocket over here, 3¾ inches wide here, and then we need glue tabs, and then how high do you want it? So I would say 4¾ Obviously, we don't want this to touch so much, so I'm probably going to score it in a way that makes it a little bit smaller to fit in that pocket. So 4¾ inches, that gives us 1/2 inch glue tabs. And then how high do we want it to be? So let's see. That's 2 inches. 2½ inches might be cute. Okay. By 2½ inches tall. That's for this pocket that's going to hold the cocoa. On the other side, we need it to be not gusseted, but it needs to have sides, right? So this is the part where I did it 1¼ inch deep. Maybe we do the pocket 1⅛ inches and hope for the best. And we are going to have a little extra, right? Because this isn't 3¾ inches wide. It's a little bit smaller than that. So I think even if you have to kind of really squeeze it in there, it'll fit perfectly. So let's say it's 1⅛. I know it's an ugly number, but that's what it has to be. So if we're making a little, if you can imagine a little area that's like this, right? To hold, and then glue tab here. It's not going to have anything there. Glue tab or whatever. A little box, basically. So we need it to be 1⅛ deep. That says 1⅛, 1⅛ on this side. So if that's the depth. The width, again, 3¾ you know, we'll try to fudge that just a little bit if we can, but 3¾ here. So 1⅛ here, 3¾ there, and 1⅛ deep there. And then we need 1/2 inch glue tabs also. A 1/2 inch there and a 1/2 inch here. So that's 1 inch, 3 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 inches, guys. Okay, wide on that piece. How tall do we want it? And then we also want a piece at the bottom to hold this, and then to glue underneath. So should we make it the same height, the same 2½ inches? I would think it should be a little deeper, but let's see. How does that look? 1, 2½. Sure. Okay, 2½ inches also. So 2½ inches in here. And then the reason I'm saying these numbers is just so you can design your own thing and you can think about it. So this has to be 2½ inches tall. We need a glue tab, the base that's going to be 1⅛ inches deep. It has to be the same deep as that one. 1 1/8, and then a glue tab, so 1/2 inch. So 2.5 plus the half, that's 3, 4 and 1/8. 4 and 1/8. My goodness. All right. Oh, so this is my base thing. I would love to do this in red paper, but I'm sure I have red paper somewhere. So let me grab some red paper. We're going to matte layer this. We're going to make it real cute, guys. So I will be right back. And we'll talk about the sizes again. It's just some old paper. I have really old Michaels paper. Look at this. And then this is also some old Recollections paper. Oh, I wanted the light, brighter red. So let me see. Oh, good. Okay. So I end up pulling these out. You know, Recollections, they have like different shades. I wanted this one. And it's a little flimsy. I would do like heavier weight construction paper, but this is a good way to use up some scraps. So I didn't think this video was going to be that long, but it's going to be. All right. So we need a piece that is our base, 6.5 inches by 8 3/4. So there's 8.5. Can't get it from there, so that can be the 6.5. So let's do the 8 3/4 first. 8 3/4 by 6.5. Right, and that is our little book, the outer portion. And then we need a piece that's 4 3/4 by 2.5. Aw, man, this is gonna be 2 inches, isn't it? So yeah, I could have used that, but oh well, that's not gonna work. How about this piece? This piece is 2 1/4 inches tall. My goodness. Well, I mean, if you want to do 2 1/4, you can definitely use these guys, but that's not gonna work for us. So I'm gonna take another piece and 4 3/4 by 2.5. If you want to conserve paper, do 2 1/4. You know. How's the other one? The other one is 7 by 4 1/8. Okay. I'm just trying to think what's smarter here. 4 3/4 by 2.5. Let's do 2.5 inches on this piece. That is so funny. I guess, you know, honestly, you could still use this and then just take some of the glue tab. Make the glue tab at the bottom 1/4 inch instead of 1/2 inch. But okay, we're gonna make nice clean pieces, so it makes sense. So 2.5, 4 3/4. Okay. And then we need one that's 7 by 4 1/8. So let's see what I did with this paper. Ooh, it's 8.5 in that direction still. So 4 1/8, which is gonna be hard to measure on this thing, but that's all right. 4 1/8. It doesn't have an 1/8. By 7. I can't wait for my Spellbinders paper trimmer to come in. All right, let's talk about these papers and where we're going to score them. Okay, so this is our main piece. Sorry, I have a bunch of shadows because I have all these cute gifts over here. That is 8 3/4 by 6.5. So all we're going to do with this one, because it's our outer casing, is just score it at 3 3/4 inch on either side. So on this way, I don't know. 3 3/4, so 3 3/4. And without doing math, like adding, you know, the 1 1/4, which is easy math, but I'll just turn it and score it again at 3 3/4. Okay. And whenever I score, I like to fold my paper that direction or behind. It's whatever you like to do. What do you like to do with your score lines? I actually fold it this way. For some reason, this is not easy to do. You know why? It's because the paper is like flimsy. So it just does not bend as easily for some reason, because it wants the whole thing wants to bend, you know? So let's get on that score line. Okay, so that's the outer portion of this little cutie. I'll probably go ahead and matte layer it now because I think it's harder to do when everything's in here. So that's the outer one. Again, 8 3/4 by 6.5, scored at 3 3/4 on either side. Okay. The Cocoa Pocket. Okay, guys, sorry for the rough edit because I realized I made my Cocoa Pocket incorrectly. So Cocoa Pocket needs to be 4 3/4 by 3. Sorry that I said 2.5. That's not. It's 4 3/4 by 3. And all we're doing with this guy is just scoring it 1/2 inches all around. Now, I will say when I go 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch at the bottom, because we're gonna make like a pocket. This one, I want it to be a 1/2 inch plus just a little bit. Make it a little bit. I'm putting basically on the 16th, but this doesn't have a 16th line. So I'm just 1/2 inch, but adding a little bit more, because what's going to happen is when we go to score this, and I'm just going to cut this the way we need it now. So cut there, cut there. You're going to cut away that little square because we're making just a pocket, and the other one's more of a, like a holder, right? Oh, and actually, if you want this to look a little neater, you can also divot that away a little bit. The reason I make one a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch, that score line, is because if we go to score this exactly at 1/2 inch, when you go to put it in here, it's gonna butt up against the score line, and it might push it out this way. So just give yourself a little extra, right? Just a little bit, that makes it easier to ease this in here. So 1/2 inch, but one of the sides should be like closer to, I don't know, 9/16, you know, instead of just 1/2 inch. Okay, so we have that pocket. All right, so again, 4 3/4 by 3, scored at 1/2 inch all around other than the top. Now this guy is 7 inches by 4 1/8. This is going to make the little box basically to hold this guy on the other side. So I'm going to take this, and we do have some scoring that we need to think about on this one pretty good. So let's see. I haven't made up these numbers yet. So 1/2 inch, because we have a 1/2 inch glue tab on either side. So what I'm going to do is just turn them both. You don't have to do this, but 1/2 inch, okay? We did that. And then from there, we want 1 1/8 inch. And this thing measures in 1/4 eighth. Oh, it does have eighths. Okay, good. These lines are eighths. It doesn't have 16ths. So from there, we want to score, we had 1/2 inch, we want to score at 1 1/8 from here, right? So 1 1/8 from that would be plus, let's say 1/8, that's 4 eighths, 5 eighths. 1 5/8. So 1 1/2 is here, 1 5/8. It's the eighth right next to 1 1/2, 1 5/8. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it and also do this at 1 5/8 because I don't want to do the math. So on either side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 1 5/8. Okay. Turn it to one of the sides because it's going to be the base. You're going to do the same thing. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. Oopsie. And basically also at 1 5/8 because it's the same thing, right? It's the same width. So 1 1/2, 1 5/8. Okay, this looks kind of crazy. It has all kinds of lines. So let's think about this clearly, methodically. Basically, we're going to get rid of this. Now, if you really want to make it a box where it tucks in and all, you know, you can think about that. But right now, we're going to go from this score line, the one that was a 1 5/8, all the way to where it meets up with the 1 5/8 score line there. We're going to trim that away. We don't need this whole square. Same thing on this side. On the 1 5/8 to 1 5/8. So you can imagine this is going to be our glue tab over here. So we can also take a little bit off of the bottom and the top just so it nestles in nicer. Okay. I love making stuff like this, and I know it might be a little bit crazy, but okay. So on that 1/2 inch glue tab and all of them, we're going to divot a little something away. Okay, so it looks like this. And basically the same thing with this one, like we could have done, like I said, giving one a little bit extra on the 1/2 inch, but I didn't want to confuse people, so I didn't talk about it from this one. And hopefully it'll just work. We'll see. We can maybe manipulate it a little bit. And then this one here. Okay, so you basically made this box that's going to glue over here. Now, do we want to cover these with a little matte layering? I think we do. I'm going to do the matte layer on the front. I don't think it needs on the side. If you want to, you know, go ahead. And probably on the back. Maybe you have a little die cut, maybe a little Merry Christmas or something cute or something cocoa related. That'd be adorable. Let me clean up a little bit and we're going to get to do our matte layers. So I'm going to cut down some matte layers. Like I said, I'm just going to cover the front. I'm going to cover these guys. If you want to notch these with a little punch, you can do that. You can run it through a machine with like a circular die if you want to, if you don't have the little notcher on both of these. Or you can just leave them plain. I'm going to leave it more plain because I think this video is going on long enough already. So let's talk about this. These guys are 3 3/4 by 6 1/2. So I'm going to cut these at 6 5/8. I mean, sorry, 3/8, because I like that kind of matte layer, but whatever you like. So 6 1/2 and doing 6 3/8. Of course, if your paper has a direction, you want to pay attention to that. By 3 3/4, so by 3 and sorry, for the 3 3/4, it's going to be 3 5/8 is what I would want to cut for that. I think if I added one more eighth, that's 6/8 to 3/4. Yeah. So 3 5/8. And same thing for this one, 3 5/8. Again, if you don't like eighths, you can come up with your own numbers and just make it a nice round quarter or whatever. So we have those guys. You guys, I might as well use it. Look at this. That's crazy. Okay, I need to take an 1/8 inch off of this, but basically the little guy's there and it covered. That's so funny. Okay, oosh, this is gonna be a little bit tricky, but I'm gonna take a little bit off of this side, about a 1/16, should I say, off of this side, and see if that works for me. If it gets messed up, I just won't use it. But like, how can you not use that? He's so cute, and literally you have your, look at that. Okay, fine. We're going to cover the whole thing. Funny enough, if I knew I was going to do that, I would have probably accounted for this in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's just there and it doesn't continuously go, but that's all right. Okay, so for our pockets, we have a pocket that is 3 3/4 by 2.5 inches deep. So I don't want to mess this paper up because then I'm going to have to, let me give this a little bit of thought. Oh, they're both the same depth, right? So perfect. So 2.5 inches deep. So let's say 2 3/8. Let's do that first. And then we'll see about the widths. They should be the same width, right? So 3 3/4, again, 3 5/8. I'm just eyeballing that at this point because I can't really fit that in there. And I want this little guy in there, so I'm going to cut it from this way, 3 5/8. Did I do that one right? Okay, good. Whew. All right, let me clean up a little bit. We'll talk about our numbers again, because I know I don't write things down. I don't blog them, and people do ask, like, okay, can we look at those again? The outer cover is 8 3/4 by 6.5, scored at 3 3/4 on either side, right? The matte layers for this guy that I chose, because these are the sizes I like, are, and they're really tight. I mean, look at that. 6 3/8 by 3 5/8. Okay, that's what I like. If you want to do quarters, I would say 6 1/4 by 3.5. Right there, you go. And then that middle one, again, it was just an extra cut, but it's basically the same height. So 6 3/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, roughly. But again, it just worked out. So okay, fine. We'll put the middle one. Now, a couple things before I glue these other guys down. I'm gonna glue on or in between the layers some little curling ribbon, and again, you can use twine. I was going to grab twine and I totally forgot, so that's why I didn't have it here, although I do have twine in my stash. But that worked out like perfectly for this, which makes sense because I mean the width of this guy, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little twine, maybe this green one. It's going to be a little funky because it's this stuff, but that'll be fine. So I'm going to cut myself a good amount. And I mean, you can wrap it around the whole thing if you wanted to, so just, you know, inlay it underneath everything. What is going on? I'm trying to grab the two ends. There we go. And I, you know, this is maybe 10 inches. I don't know, maybe a little bit less. And I'm going to stick this down in here, and I'm going to put myself a little bit of glue to help me with that already. So I'm just going to put down some glue there and some glue there, and it can definitely be the glue that's going to stick everything down, but that's all right. So I would say there's an area that was kind of ugly. Well, that's all right. This piece was kind of funky. Maybe we should bury that. Okay, so, and I'm just putting it in the center-ish. I mean, maybe the center is a little bit higher. I'm not measuring that at all. I'm just eyeballing, of course. And same thing with this side. You can bring it together to see if you're in the same spot, or use your grid to help you check that out. I don't know. Like here-ish. Is that the same? Looks about right. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue these guys down. And then we'll talk about our pockets again, especially since I gave you the wrong number at the beginning, and I'm so sorry. Hopefully I made it very clear that that was an oopsie, and I'm very, very, very sorry about that. Okay. And I know we have paper. I have paper. Oh my goodness, do I have paper. I'm using cute paper on this one because I figure this is like for a kid, but you can use more sophisticated papers. all kinds of things. And I like to give several ideas in Christmas time, like during this month, that are fun to use that paper and just do other things. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's funny. It still looks like it did it match up from here? Oh, I guess this part did, because that's where I cut that one piece off. It just doesn't match up over here. But look how cute, and it's all nice and thick feeling already. Oh my gosh, I love this already. Okay, 8 3/4, 6 1/2, scored at 3 3/4 on either side, and then do your matte layers, right? This little cocoa pocket is 4 3/4 by 3, and scored at 1/2 inch, and then one of the 1/2 inches, when I scored it a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch. And I'm just gonna take one of these guys. Yeah, this guy's fine. Pop it on here. Again, if you want to do a little notch, you can definitely do that. This almost completely covers the whole front, because again, I went with the same numbers about 3 3/4 and all that. In this pocket, I made it a little bit smaller, a little tighter. So you have that guy. And I'm gonna pop it right here. Kind of bothers me that this is so close to the top, but that's all right. I mean, what are you gonna do? Oh, whenever I do these things too, I glue it this way so that when you slide something down in here, it doesn't hit this if this was underneath. Does that make sense? It'll meet that first. So just kind of tuck these guys in a way that this bar kind of comes across. And we're going to tuck this little guy right here, making sure it's not bothering anything. Right? Just a little bit above the bottom. You can bring it right down. You can bring it up. I mean, there's plenty of room for the hot cocoa packet. I'm going to let that stick down before I even try to put the hot cocoa in there. And then this guy is 4 1/8 by 7, and it is scored at 1/2 inch and at 1 5/8 inch on those 3 sides, right? Again, you can make one just a little bit bigger than, when you go to do the 1/2 inch, do like a little extra 16th or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here before we stick this to our project. This one is really out there. I wasn't expecting to do this. I was like, oh yeah, we'll do the thing with the little candy cane, all that. And you see this one kind of fits better because it is the full 3 3/4, where this one's a little bit shy of that. Okay. And we're just going to glue this in like that, right? Right down in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on all these pieces. I don't know how these match up, but I would do the same thing if you can. Keep in mind about getting this one behind here. I don't know. Well, I guess the way we would do that is to stick this down first. So I'm going to come down here and just hold that glue tab. And just lay that bottom one touch for now. Pretty good. And then I'll come in with these guys and just bring it down into your box shape. And again, you can do door hangers like this with the same technique. That's really cute. You just make this back piece longer. And I just want to make sure it closes. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's adorable. Okay, so hopefully that all made sense. And I'm sorry I had my oopsie. These things happen, guys. I'm always going flying from the seat of my pants here. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting my hand in there for the glue tabs. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to put anything in this until I know it's set up, but how cute is that? I mean, even your cocoa stuff, maybe it all fit over here in a gift card or whatever. If you're trying to make, nice, like a gift, not just like a little stocking stuffer. And then we can tie it with this. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Let me see. Yep. Like I said, it's going to be taller than this guy because I wasn't trying to squish this too much, but I mean, you can kind of squish it in there. Okay, let's give it a little room to breathe, and I will be right back. I think we're ready. I just waited a few minutes, and then I just made a short video while I was waiting on this, showing like what we're working on. And I'm like, maybe we should make a little rosette. I mean, is that too much? Maybe next time. I don't know. I mean, I have all kinds of cute things. Like, honestly, look at this. If I wanted to give a little, cute little gift like this one, that's a little patch. I mean, so many things you can put on the front. I feel like this is a lot already. I have stickers that are hot cocoa related from last year that were from Michael's. Obviously, all the different like diamond press things that I have are hot cocoa. Like, so cute. I mean, whatever die cuts you want to put on the front. I feel like it's very festive already, but maybe a little something. I'll see what I have. But okay, let's try it out. So remember, we made this taller than our thing, so that fits perfectly. Obviously, you know, it might even slide out because I did make it wider so it's for this, but once you close it up and close it, I don't think it's gonna slide out. But there you go. So we have that guy. Hot cocoa pocket or packet. Let's see. Oh, let's do this one. So the Land O'Lakes one, I said it probably will fit both of them. Oh my goodness, you guys. Yes, look at that. So even if you have those guys, it is a little chunkier, but you're gonna tie it up anyway, right? Cute. Okay, so that fits. And let's shake our Swiss Miss down. Very cute. Oh my goodness. And then, you know, I mean, the candy cane pretty much fits in here if I wanted to put it even on the side or maybe on the inside over here. Even the width of it, that's interesting. Like, it totally works, you know? But let's pop that guy in there. And then we can close it up. Oh my gosh. I was going to put the candy cane like on the outside, but I mean, if it fits in there, it fits in there, right? Let's tie this stuff. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it gives you a little attitude because it kinks up. Hold on. What am I doing? Oh, it's me. It's me. Is it me? I feel like I didn't even tie it. Like it was put one next to the other one. I don't know. Okay, let's get it tied. All right, guys. Well, you know, for something that I just kind of came up with here, I think that's very cute. Again, I don't know if I'm put this guy there or maybe more on this outside. That's cuter. And again, you can even tie it on with the bow, right? So it's not flopping around. But there you go. All right, there we go. I think that's very cute. Again, decorate it as much as you want. If you're making tons of them, obviously you just want to get them going, right? I could design something like this on the Cricut very easily. Maybe I'll do that. If I have some time, maybe I'll do it and just have the link there for it. But I don't know if that's going to be today. So I will let you guys know if I follow up with that because it's super easy. It's just a little scoring, you know, no big deal. So I can probably make you a file. That would be fun. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that gave you some idea of, you know, just something a little more to make with something like this. I think it's really sweet. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I will try and get on that Cricut file. And of course, I'm trying to open this so I can get some pictures, but I probably should just leave it closed. All right, guys. I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.